Hey, Steven? Yeah, Steven. Where do you think clouds come from? What up, guys? Welcome back. Today, we're going to look at a clunk, a suspension clunk. So after installing my coilovers, putting a few miles on it, I have developed a suspension clunk from the front. It's not really a big deal. It's pretty normal. When you install coilovers, you're undoing a lot of stuff, a lot of bolts, a lot of nuts. It's normal to go back in there after a few miles and retighten everything, make sure everything's good, like you would with a wheel. Nut and bolt everything, make sure it's all good and tight.
Oh, thick dog, it's tight.
More than likely, it's the lock ring on the coilovers on the front. I actually kind of forgot to make sure those are super tight when I put them in. Normally what I do is I take a dead blow and the coilover wrench or spanner, if you're from overseas, and tap on that real good. Make sure the lock ring is to the proper torque spec. I believe the torque spec on a coilover lock ring is good and tight, so make sure it's good and tight. I'm about to drive this thing to get some mows because it is Monday, and you know I gotta eat that mow Monday. I'm gonna put a microphone. I'm gonna attempt to put a microphone up in the suspension somewheres. See if I can hear anything on the mic or record some audio. Yeah, let's get this car out and go to Moe's. I'm hungry. I just drove over my GoPro. Damn it. Alright, that didn't work. I'll save you the pain. All I could hear was engine noise and it didn't sound very good. Couldn't hear the clunks at all, but I did drive it today a little bit and the clunks are definitely getting louder, so it's time to do something about it. Let's fix those clunks. Looks like this lower lock ring down here was a little bit loose. See that? It wasn't completely loose, but it wasn't tight. So now we gotta try and tighten that. Take my wrench, if I can reach in there. Not much room. Tighten it up as much as I can by hand. And I like to hit it with the mallet, even though there's not much room. More turns. There we go. Everything else seems like it's tight. Sway bar mount might be slightly loose. Maybe it's loose on the other side. Seems okay. Oh! Aw, man. Yeah, that's loose. It's not as loose as I thought it was, considering how much noise this thing was making. Let's tighten this spring perch. Yeah, that one was a little loose too. I'm also going to check the nuts on the top plate. Make sure those guys are tight. Oh man, I need it deep. I need it deep! These don't need to be super tight, they just shouldn't be loose. Those are good. Uh-oh, valve cover's leaking. Now's the time on caustics when we drive. Oh. Slide into the car. Slide. See if we fixed it. Nope. Still there. What the hell? Doesn't do it over the speed bumps. Yeah, they're still clunking. And they're still scraping. Well, let's check some other stuff, shall we? Back to the garage. That sounds horrible. Lunchtime. Didn't loosen anything else. Aha! Found it. I found something loose. The top nut on the coilover on the shock, where the damper bolts to the top plate. So in order to get that nice and tight, I gotta take this little adjuster out. There's a little nut under there that you loosen. And to get this real tight, you stick an Allen key down there, jam on that thing. There we go. Allen! Allen! Definitely would be easier outside the car. Wouldn't be a bad idea to check these for tightness when you first get the coilovers. No room. Can't use a socket because what happens is you end up just spinning the shaft inside the damper. So you gotta have the Allen key to hold it. This might be a 17 actually. Gonna round that thing off. Alright, put it back together and see if that clunk went away. I got it. Yeah, I don't hear clunk. Other than your normal Miata rattles and interior clunks and stuff. suspension clunk's gone. It's still lunchtime. Woohoo! Oh, I run my camera over. Don't want to run another camera over. All right, found it. Looks like that was it. It was the lock ring on the bottom definitely was loose, but it wasn't loose enough to make a massive clunking noise. I've seen those things to where they're completely spun all the way up, like a ½ inch or a ¼ inch, completely loose. So this one was still, these were still touching the lower shock mount, but they weren't tight. So that's definitely can lead to clunking in the future. So glad I got that tight. But that top nut on top of the shock, that was the main culprit right there. So when you get coilovers, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of nuts and bolts on those things. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And go put some coilovers on something. Slam that on its nuts. Put some coilovers on your car, because coilovers are cool and they're fun and they make your car look good. And I'm getting paid by BC. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But BCs are pretty good for the money. Let me tell you. All right, guys. Have a great week. Peace out, dudes.